Today on the Diz List, we count down the top 5 overrated things at Walt Disney World.
Welcome to the Diz List, a podcast that lists everything at Walt Disney World. I'm Nick.
And I'm Rob, and today we're going to do the top 5 overrated things at Walt Disney World.
And it's all things.
You know,
we've done rides before.
Things.
We've done rides before.
Yeah. I mean, this could include rides. It could be food. It could be shows. It could be anything.
And
this one's wide open.
I also want to be clear. Overrated doesn't mean I don't like it. Overrated means I think that people rate it too highly. There's a big difference.
Yes. Or something is mega popular but shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be as popular as it is. Correct. Yeah, I agree.
We'll discuss that further a little bit later.
Okay. So what do you got for news this week?
This is a cool one. So last night, well, to rewind a little bit further, most people listening, a good chunk of the country, is about to or getting hit by a snowstorm. We record this on Sunday.
Yeah, we're getting
Sunday morning after brunch-ish time. And we're getting hit a little bit. I'm seeing snow outside right now.
Have you been outside today?
But no, I can see flakes out my window. My wife and son went out, but I didn't yet today.
I can tell you that there was an inch at my house already.
Okay. So we're getting hit pretty hard. So anyway, there's going to be lots for everybody to watch. So if you're inside, I recommend to you, Nick, and your family will love this too. I watched Disneyland Handcrafted. Now, this is a documentary movie. You can watch it on YouTube if you don't have Disney Plus. I'm assuming a lot of our listeners probably do. Or you can watch it on Disney Plus, and it's about an hour and 15 minutes. It's a documentary. Here, I'll read the little write-up on it here. This is probably easier. Disneyland Handcrafted is a feature documentary directed and produced by Leslie Iwerks. Rather than a traditional narrated history, the documentary uses rare and previously unseen archival footage and original audio recordings from the Walt Disney Archives and Walt Disney Film Archives to place viewers directly in the frantic year of construction leading up to Disneyland's opening. It's really cool. It's not like your typical documentary. You see all the construction. You see what they did. Walt comes about halfway through and he says, I've spent half of my budget and there's really nothing here. What is going to happen? I mean, we already know the end and we know that, it works out. But
the concrete wasn't even set.
Yeah. There's a one shot where you see that there's a truck or a van or some kind of thing is on the actual like asphalt concrete, and the tire is sunk down like half a foot into it. There's some really cool stuff that I'd never seen before, and like fun things where the construction workers are goofing around, where they have one of those what are those things called that has like the scooper on the end with the teeth?
An excavator?
Everyone's probably yelling at me. Yes. And there's a guy standing there and it's scraping the guy's back like he's itching his back. Like they're having fun. And my wife goes, man, there must not be a lot of like OSHA regulations at this time, because there's a guy walking out on this like plank without any harness or anything. It's pretty wild what they were able to do back in 1955. But
OSHA
I want to say this
recommends
too.
Stuff. It's just recommendations.
You're going to watch and go, man, that's not safe. It's pretty cool how they did it though.
I've seen some
stuff. So Leslie Iwerks is the granddaughter of Ub Iwerks, whose name is on that pair of sneakers that you have that was part of the creation of Mickey Mouse, and the daughter of Don Iwerks, who is a Disney camera technician and inventor. So I figured I would point that out too. But it's excellent. Take some time today. I know there's football on today. I'm kind of bitter about the football teams that are playing. No offense if you like one of those teams, but I'm just bitter because our team lost. So I'll watch some football, but if you have time in between today, Nick, I would recommend this. Your whole family will really enjoy it. It's fun.
I'm a Mets fan. I'm used to disappointment.
They signed a bunch of new guys, right? Not to get into weeds too much, but are you happy with their recent moves?
No, I'm not.
Okay, fair.
They're rentals. Okay. We overpaid. So, couple things. First off, it is snowy. Like the weather is not great. It's been bad. So if you're listening to this and you're somebody who got snowed in or still is snowed in, because down in the south they could be a little bit longer than us to get out. Stay safe.
Can you see it behind me a little bit, Nick?
Yeah, I
can. You see it out the window?
Yeah. I mean, it was bad enough. I mean, we know how to drive in it, but we were going to go to a show last night and opted because of the weather to like, maybe that's not the greatest idea, because it was closer to the lake and there was some lake effect stuff going on. So
yeah, we got to contact him too.
Yes, I know. I meant to send him a text. Festival of the Arts is underway. And
is it really called Farts now?
No. FOTA is what
I'm seeing
people
that
call it.
places online.
You're seeing creators think they're funny.
Okay. Because I just feel odd saying that.
No, it's FOTA, Festival of the Arts.
Okay.
So you'll see
like that
FOTA,
better.
like a lot of people will call it FOTA, or like the hashtag
I like
FOTA.
That better. Yeah.
So first off, I've seen some amazing sidewalk art, even more so than normal.
Me too.
Like normally it's pretty cool, but like there's some really cool ones right now. And then
the 3D artist is amazing. Did you see the one I'm talking about?
It's awesome. There's a couple of them, but probably the one you're talking about is the Toy Story one.
It's like the forced perspective chalk drawing where when you stand on it, and you look at it from a certain
the Toy Story
angle.
one?
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few of them, the forced perspective ones.
I can't remember.
One of my favorite guys that does art, it's Scooter. Look up Art of Scooter on Instagram. I love his stuff. It's kind of like a retro 50s, 60s Jetson-y look, but Disney. He does some great stuff. There's just been some really amazing artwork that I've seen over the last few days. It reinforces the fact that I believe this would be the one of the festivals that I definitely would be near the top of my list. I think probably Festival of the Holidays is number one on festivals I'd like to go to. Then Flower and Garden for the festivals I haven't been, because I haven't been to those three. So I'd really.
When are they doing Festival of the Math?
They do that every day. You basically go into the Imagination Pavilion. No, I'm just kidding. They don't.
At our school, we have a day where it's stop, drop, and read. And
don't get in trouble here, Rob.
We're stop, drop, and math.
Every day, Rob. Every day.
That's true. Every day in your class.
So we're going to head off to the halftime show here. There wasn't a ton of news this week, but we're going to head off to the halftime show. But before we do, I want to make a quick plug for our Patreon. Patreon.com/DizzlessPod. If you go over there, last week you may have heard us do an episode with a good friend of ours, Craig from Ear Scouts, from the Ear Scouts podcast. We talked about all things DVC. Yeah, all things DVC. We talked about the top 5 reasons we bought DVC and why we would do it again. If you head over to our Patreon and you join for free, you do not need to be a paid member. This is a Patreon exclusive, but it's exclusive to even our free members. If you go over there and join our Patreon community, you will get access to a 1-hour-long Q&A where we answered 15 or more questions about DVC, and they're everything from budgetary stuff to what would our dream resort be to, how do you go about purchasing or renting. So there's a lot of good information in that one. And you do not, like I said, you do not need to be a paid member for this. You can be a free member. So head on over to patreon.com/DizzlessPod. You can join the community for free and you will immediately get access to that episode if DVC is something you're looking to try. And obviously, even if it's not something you're looking to try and you just want to get some more information, go over there, look about, it's one of the best ways to save money is renting DVC. So you don't necessarily have to buy it, but we're going to head off to the halftime show and we're going to see it right after the break. Welcome back. First off, I wanted to say I forgot I needed to update our Patreon thank you because we got 2 new patrons this week and nice. I forgot to update it. So sorry guys, I will get on that. Maybe I'll even drop it into the new one. But this half of the show, we are going to talk about our top 5 things that we think are most overrated at Disney World. Yeah. Now, these are things, they're not necessarily rides. They may be rides. You might have a ride in your list. Maybe I have a ride on my list. I don't know. But we've done a ride list before. And I think there are other things at Disney that are overrated, even more so than the even more so than the rides. So that's why I think this episode could be fun. We're not trying to start any fights here. We really aren't. We want to keep the peace, but you might not agree with some of my stuff on my list. And I think Rob might have some stuff too. But you got to ask yourself, is that overrated? So why don't you go ahead and give us and start us off here?
All right. Since it's football weekend, I'm going to kick off here. And my first one, I'll begin with, I have said for the majority of my life that this is my dream job. And my dream job would be to be a jungle skipper on the Jungle Cruise. Now, I want to be very clear. We talked about this in the first half. Okay. Obviously, mine is going to be Jungle Cruise, but I want to say something before I really get into it. Jungle Cruise isn't bad. Okay. Jungle Cruise is very entertaining. It's fun. But the thing is, our theme here is overrated. And the line for this is crazy long. But I look at this ride as something on par with Small World. Again, no screaming at your radio or whatever.
Oh, you can scream.
They're good things. The problem is that I feel like Small World is rated perfectly. You know, it's a vintage, kitschy ride. It's classic. The lines are usually the right length. And that's kind of how I'm judging this year. When I look at Jungle Cruise, it's kind of kitschy and cheesy. And I wish they would fix the audio, because guys like me who don't have the greatest hearing, sometimes it's hard for me to pick up on jokes. Like, I'll watch a lot of TV with the subtitles on. And to me, a lot of times it sounds like, and I'm like, what? And I want to be able to hear it. But I just think when I see the lines as long as they are, I'm like, really? I mean, I'll put it this way. The number of times I go to Magic Kingdom, I probably only go on Jungle Cruise a quarter of the time. What would your estimate be for you when you go to Magic Kingdom?
Maybe a little bit more than a quarter. Maybe, I mean, it's hit or miss. I mean, maybe 50%. Yeah. I certainly don't. It's certainly not a must. If I don't ride it, it doesn't make me feel bad. And it doesn't make my kids feel bad if we don't ride it. You know, what are your thoughts?
Do you think it's overrated? Do you think the lines are too long? What do you think?
So it's not on my list. It is okay. Firmly on my honorable mention, though. It is like on my honorable mention list.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they gave the skippers more leeway with the script, I think that would make it better. I saw a funny one during Jingle Cruise. The lady was like, "Welcome to the eighth wonder of the world, Frosty the Snowman." Oh no, right? Instead of the backside of water, and she's like, "Frosty, no." That was funny. Like, that kind of stuff.
That's funny.
Is hilarious, right?
It's great.
But I want different scripts, if we're gonna be honest. But it is overrated, and it's a lot of.
I wish the lines weren't that long.
It's a lot of real estate too. Like, I don't know. It's okay.
I know we've talked before too that you rip out that ride and you put in something else, and if you want to see animals, you go down the street.
Side note:
go to Animal Kingdom.
Do you think they would ever? And before people listening at home go like, that would never happen. It happened just down the way in the park.
Yes, do you think they would with Tom Sawyer?
No, hold on. That's not what I was going to say. Do you think they would?
Okay.
Do you think they would ever bring The Rock in? Like, do you think he would have an animatronic there? And before you say that's not going to happen, like, I point you to Pirates.
Right next door with Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp, I just saw a video. I don't know if it's older, but it just popped up in my feed of Johnny Depp running around New Orleans Square again. I think that was a recent video. I think he did it again, unless somebody reposted it. But
probably somebody reposted it.
He was running around, not in the ride, outside the ride with these performers.
Yeah. But either way,
I don't know. But do I think they would? Sure, I definitely do. And
I don't think they should.
What's the co-star's name? She's Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
What's her name? She plays Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
She's married to Jim from The Office.
No clue. I don't care.
Okay, but she was.
I don't
also
care about
I
don't really care about that movie, so I didn't pay attention. I watched it once. I watched it once.
Yeah. I'll probably only watch it once too. I don't usually watch things more than once.
So let's move to my number 5. My number 5.
Yeah, sorry. Let's move on.
No, that's okay. My number 5 is one that actually I kind of left off of a different list at the beginning of the show. My number 5 is Food and Wine Festival. Now, I love the Food and Wine Festival. Don't get me wrong. I love the Food and Wine Festival, but it is vastly overrated. The food is probably, now I haven't been to the other festivals, but I have heard from reliable sources that the food at the other festivals is actually better, which is bonkers. The Food and Wine Festival still gets the same praise that it used to when it was an actual festival that had like classes, and they did cooking classes. They did seminars about food and about wine. They don't have that. And by the way, it's called the Food and Wine Festival. Outside of Italy and France, where do you get wine at the Food and Wine Festival? Not many places, right? They have alcohol, sure, but it's not Food and Wine Festival. It's overrated.
That's a good point.
It's not a I'm not look, if you love the Food and Wine Festival, so do I. But it can be overrated and you still like it. And that's kind of how I feel about the Food and Wine Festival. In fact, when we were looking this summer to go, we were like, do we want to go in early July or later July? Well, early July, just after July 4th, I know that Food and Wine wasn't going to all of a sudden be in there. But if I go in late July, I might run into it. And the crowds don't really make it worthwhile. I think some of the snacks that already exist in World Showcase are as good or better than some of the snacks you get during Food and Wine. I get why people like it. I like it. I think it's a fun festival, but I think it's overrated as a festival and is the longest of all of them and shouldn't be. So Food and Wine Festival is my number 5 thing that is overrated at Disney World.
I've been to Food and Wine before, and my issue with it was the food just, and I'm sure this was an off day, but the food that we had wasn't fresh at the different booths that we were at.
That's not an off day. That's not an off day. Not at all.
Festival of the Holidays, it was better. Like, I had really good luck. Like when we didn't get food at a lot of places this most recent trip because either it was sold out or the lines were crazy. But when there was like hardly any line at all at the Mexico Pavilion, and boy, that food was fantastic. It was fresh and it tasted great. So I don't know. I just figure I'd throw that out there.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's not just an off day. Food and Wine Festival food, a lot of times, especially later in the day, it's been prepped forever and it's not that great. So,
okay. My number 4 may make some people upset, but I mean, to me, it is what it is. Number 4 is Joffrey's Coffee. You know, I like coffee. Okay. My kids, plural, work at Dunkin' Donuts. That's news.
Yeah.
And I'm a guy who can go through the drive-through and get a coffee. I'm not huge into, and one of my close friends, you know him too, our friend Rory owns his own coffee shop. He's really into it. I was just having a conversation with him this morning about this new podcast where they talk about coffee and where it's sourced and how it's brewed. Again, I'm not anti-coffee. I love coffee. I drink it every morning. I literally have it in my hand right here.
Yeah, I'm on cup. But I'm ashamed to say what cup I'm on.
To me, Joffrey's Coffee is no different than anything else. And people go on and on, it's the greatest. It's the greatest. I don't see a difference. And maybe that's just me because I drink so much, drive-through coffee. I mean, I make my own coffee every morning. I'll go out and get, Dunkin' again because my kids work there, but I don't know.
You don't think Dunkin' Donuts coffee tastes different than Starbucks tastes different than Joffrey's tastes different than...
Yeah, they do. They do, but I don't see Joffrey's Coffee as being as incredible as everyone is saying it is. That's why I'm saying it's overrated. Joffrey's is on par with Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks. They're all kind of the same. There isn't a brand that I think is that much better. Like if I go to a place like my friend's coffee shop, Ugly Duck Coffee, I'll give them a shout out there.
They are so good.
That's superior.
Yeah.
Because of the way they make it and where they get it
from. If you're in the Rochester area and you haven't been to Ugly Duck, do yourself a favor.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah. Hit up Rory.
Yeah. But Joffrey's, I see it as the same as all these other coffee places. Tim Hortons, for anybody in Canada or the Northeast, Tim Hortons.
Yeah, well, Timmy's is different. Timmy's hits different. I would take a pot of Tim Hortons coffee over any of the other ones.
My father feels the same way. He agrees with you.
Yeah.
He says it's superior.
Far superior. But that's not far superior to like something like Ugly Duck, but among fast food places.
Yeah, and I'm considering Joffrey's on par with all of the other.
I would say
fast food places.
I would say any of the coffee places in the parks because I think Starbucks is way more overrated than Joffrey's. But you're not wrong that Joffrey's. I don't disagree with your take on Joffrey's at all. But there are going to be a lot of people who are going to come for you. That's all I'm going to say.
That's okay. But here's the thing, though, and this is the same with the others. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying they're all kind of the same good. I'm not saying they're bad. People love it, but it's like, okay, it's not that much better than any of these other places.
No, it's a
I
coffee.
want to be super clear on that. And you can come at me. It's fine. That's my opinion.
Here's what I think the difference is like You and I, well, you don't, but like I drink my coffee as plain as, I mean, it's hot black coffee. That's it. That's what I drink.
Cream, sugar, a little bit,
right.
No big deal.
And like, but if you're into the specialty drinks, maybe they're good. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. So.
Well, that's true. See, that's a good caveat, is maybe like their specialty, cinnamon or brownie or whatever. Okay, people can, that is fair, because I've only ever had
I don't
just
know.
their
Maybe they're
regular coffee, cream and sugar.
Yeah, maybe
from
their
all
cold
these
brew
places.
is great, but I've never had it. So,
yeah, okay,
all right. So mine is probably gonna make people think that I've lost my marbles. Okay, my number 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna set it up in a way that hopefully people will be like, oh, I guess you're kind of right. So I want you to picture it, right? You're having a nice, relaxing resort day.
Mm-hmm.
By relaxing, I mean you and about 1,000 of your best friends are all relaxing in the same place. Okay. And it's like when you decide you want to cool off, you're going to go into a pool, right?
Okay.
And you don't just want to go in the pool, you want to go on a slide to get into the pool. And so,
do I?
So, well, you don't have to, but you want to. You want to here. Okay.
I'm just making a joke.
Okay. So then what you do is you leave the pool and you walk into, like, I don't know, Epcot to get onto the pool slide. And then you slide back across the pathway that you walked across when you left your resort to enter the pool. And so my number 4 most overrated thing at Disney World is Stormalong Bay. I'm sorry. It is overrated. It's people soup, first of all, because it's like 1,000 of your best friends sitting in an 85-degree pool. If you want to go on the slide, you have to leave the resort to go across the street to go onto some area where oh, by the way, that's where their splash pad is. So if you like, no, seriously, did you know that? That's where their they have little kid slides over there. So like, if you want to,
I just don't remember.
So if you, well, you probably didn't go up there because you need a band just to get up there. So like when you go across the street, you go up the stairs and there's like a little area before you go up the stairs to the slide where there's little kid slides. So like maybe you have a kid who is 3 who wants to go down a water slide. So that you have to leave the beach or leave the Stormalong Bay, leave Beach Club, Yacht Club to go to this spot away from your family across the pavement that is, as you can imagine, like the surface of the sun, and it's rough on your feet so that people don't fall, but it's rough on your bare feet. I like the pool, don't get me wrong. I think it's like if you're there and you get I've splurged and got a cabana there, one of the greatest days I've ever had at Disney, but not because of the pool, because of the cabana. I think Stormalong Bay is vastly overrated as a pool. It's vastly overrated as a pool. So
I get nervous as a parent to just tell my young kid, okay, leave our resort and go over across the street by yourself. I mean, a lot of parents, who cares, right? But I know there's the other half of those parents that are, I don't want you going all by yourself. There's just random people walking back and forth.
Yeah, I'm not so worried about the people.
Public.
Yeah.
I'm
not so worried about the people, but like it's also like that lazy river, like it's like 7 foot deep in some spots. So you can't just like put a little kid on it. It's deep. It is deep. That lazy river is not shallow. There's spots where if you're like your hands are up on a tube and your feet are dangling, you are not even close to being able to touch bottom. And then there's parts in the main pool that go like that. I get that it's sand bottom, but who cares, right? I think it's overrated. So that's my number 4 thing. And I know people are going to come for me to that one, and it's okay. I'm here for it. Like, I like the pool. I don't think it's a bad pool. I just think it's overrated, right? I don't think it's a bad pool. I think there are better pools at Disney than Stormalong Bay, in my opinion. But I know that overall, this is the best pool for people. I just think it's overrated. So that's just my thought.
Okay.
What do you think?
So I want to get to my number 3 here, because I want you to think of Epcot and think of, outside of Christmas time,
okay,
what's one of the longest lines you've ever heard of at just a random time during the year? Super long line. Super long line. Like out of control long.
Remy.
And that line was waiting for a Figment popcorn bucket. So these popcorn buckets, hold on here.
Dude, the cult's coming for you.
I cannot believe, and I love me some Figment. Listeners know I love Figment, okay? But I cannot believe that these specialty popcorn buckets, they're cool. If there's one available,
they're not even practical.
I'll grab one, but hearing and seeing that line that went for hours to get a popcorn bucket, to me, this is like the definition of something that's overrated. It's literally a piece of plastic that you can put popcorn in that's painted purple like a dragon. I cannot believe it's not a ride. It's not anything else. It's not like it's specialty popcorn. It's literally just regular popcorn. I don't know. I just think some of these popcorn buckets, like I know people collect them. It's cool. It's a great thing to collect, but having it being a 2-3 hour, like, I don't think I'm exaggerating that much. I mean, I can look it up quick to see what the length of the line was, but holy Toledo, it's just a popcorn bucket, wait another day or two. I don't know. I just think some of these popcorn buckets are just, it's overrated. I don't know. Nick is probably like right now, like, oh my God, people haven't even heard the show and they're already so mad.
So no, what I'm doing
Rob's
right now,
talking about the popcorn buckets. What?
No, what I'm doing right now is I decided to go to eBay, or actually I didn't go to eBay. I went to a website I use for my sports cards that tells me what actual real selling prices were, because eBay, you can't really tell what they sold for. What do you think the most expensive recent, this year's 2026 Figment popcorn bucket went for? The one with the little paintbrush.
Well, yeah, the artist one. I don't know, $200.
No, I mean, not that high, but $102. Somebody sold it for.
And what's the retail price on those?
I'm not entirely certain, but that's why that line's like that.
I'm going to look that up while you're talking.
That's why that line's like that, is because people pay it. And so people will go and they hoard them, and then that's what they do, right? The original one was the same way. And now they make it every year. And so the people who hoarded it the first time were like, oops, it was not as rare as I thought it was going to be.
You're a collector, I'm a collector.
But they're not practical. Like, if the popcorn bucket was practical, okay, like, I have a ton of popcorn buckets from our trips, but we use them still because they're still just popcorn buckets. So when we watch a movie, we'll make popcorn, put them in the popcorn buckets, and sit there and eat out of our Disney popcorn bucket.
Us right? Too. We have a Sabres and a Bills one, but it's the same concept,
Well, except for the Sabres and Bills ones don't get you free refills. Or not free refills, $2 refills, whatever it is.
So the standard refillable ones are 15 to 18.
Right.
Okay, those are just the regular ones. But the collectible can go anywhere from 25 to 50, it says here.
Right, correct. Yep. So it's crazy. So we'll leave the popcorn buckets. I think people want to come for us enough, but I might make them a little bit more mad. Is that okay?
Man, this episode is going to get us people are going to hit unsubscribe like crazy. Sorry, everybody.
I don't think you're going to be ready for this one. My number 3 most overrated thing at Disney World is the monorail.
Wow.
Let me explain.
You gave space there for people to scream.
Yeah,
that was perfect.
So let me explain.
Don't cut out that gap.
Yeah, we live in the country, right? And there are times of the year when you step outside, and as my father-in-law likes to call it, what smells like dairy air. But then you can put them together so it smells like dairy air, because that's what it smells like at times when they're spreading that wonderful elixir that makes your food grow so well.
They just did that last week across the street.
Yes. And so it smells a little bit cow-like, right? There are many times. In fact, the last 2 times I've been at Disney, and I don't know what it is, but it smells like home. It smells like the manure on the monorail. I'm like, what? So there's that. 2.
I've never experienced that, but I believe you.
Here's what I think it is.
I believe you.
I think it's when they replace some of that upholstery, they use the low VOC stuff. Low VOC meaning it doesn't have volatile chemicals, but like whatever the chemicals are that they replace it with smells kind of like, it's a distinct smell, and I smell it every time I get on there. Here's the other thing. And you and I have experienced this. It's fine in the morning. It's great in the morning. Not so great at night. Yeah. We were on there and a chip floated by our feet.
Love telling that story.
I mean, it was a puddle.
Nick and I were coming back from Epcot. The doors open and there's this like pond on the floor. We're like, what? But there were so many people we had to get in there.
Yeah.
And like, as the monorail moved, there was like a Dorito chip and it just slowly moved across. We're like, oh, look, the chip is sailing.
Yeah, it looked like a friendship boat sailing on the Seven Seas Lagoon, except for the lagoon was Coca-Cola. Like it's not clean. Also not reliable. And it's not really a quick form of transportation because there's always a line. Like, I think the monorail's overrated. Give me a Skyliner. Give me another Skyliner and call it a day. But I don't know. I know people are going to come for me, but I think the monorail is overrated, and it just is what it is. I think the boat is a more fun. Yeah, it's a better way to get to the park. I think the boat is a really cool way to go to the park. Whether it's the ferry or the smaller friendship boats, I think the monorail is convenient. But unless you're on there in the morning, it's not great. The lines at security at any of the monorail resorts are awful. In particular at Contemporary. So like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's got to be the monorail. That's my number 3. I know people are mad at me, but it is what it is. People love the monorail. And I'm like, I don't get it.
I was thinking about, the Omnimover system. And it's really similar to kind of what the Skyliner is. So Haunted Mansion, Little Mermaid, like that's an Omnimover system where same with Nemo. I'm trying to think all the rides in my head that have that system. I feel like they're perfectly designed. They're people eaters. They get so many people through and so quickly. And I feel like that's kind of the problem with the monorail is you can't get as many people in there. I'm curious the stats, and you don't have to look this up, but I'm curious how many people you can move from A to B using the monorail versus the Skyliner versus the ferry boats. I'm sure that's something interesting.
Yeah, I gotta believe the ferry boats can move a larger number of people in the same amount of time. Like if you looked at over an hour with both ferry boats running, or with all the at max capacity, I would wager a bet that the ferry boats are the largest capacity. Like
I use the ferry boats the majority of the time that I go. Probably 75% of the time I do the boats.
Like, listen, if I'm ranking Disney transportation, like my number 5 is buses. It's always going to be the bottom. But number 4 is probably going to be, or like monorails are going to be up there. Or down there, I should say, down near the bottom.
Well, that's for me, it's a future episode.
For me, it's I guess I won't spoil it. Yeah. But, I don't think they're great. I think they're overrated. So, all right, now we're getting into the really juicy stuff. What do we got for number 2, Rob?
Number 2 is a restaurant, because this is obviously it's wide open, and this restaurant used to be absolutely huge, and it's died down a little bit, but I think Be Our Guest restaurant is overrated. I didn't like the food. The environment was not as exciting as I thought it was going to be. They have multiple rooms in there, but I never really felt like I was in like the Beast Castle. And the Beast walked through for like 30 seconds. It wasn't as great as I wanted it to be.
What did you go? What meal did you go for?
It was like between lunch and dinner. It was maybe like a 3 o'clock or something. And we were in like the main.
Did you have service? Or?
Oh my God, I don't even know. It was.
Well, did it cost you about $300 for 4 of you?
Oh my God, no.
Then you didn't have table service version. Oh, so like they have two. They don't even do that quick service lunch anymore, to my knowledge. I think it's all the same as dinner. So.
Well, I don't even know if I would want to spend $300 or want to have the dinner there. It was, I don't know.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you that it's overrated. I'm saying like it's you're not wrong that it's overrated. I've never had the table service version. I've never had the table service meal there. I've had quick service breakfast there. It was okay. It was loud. I didn't feel like the atmosphere was great either. So I don't think you're wrong at all. And you got to see the Beast. We didn't get to see the Beast.
Just walked through. I mean, it was like, oh, there he is. Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, that's kind of what they do.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I would have liked to have eaten in one of those side rooms. And I mean, if they're not doing any kind of quick service thing at all anymore, and it's all just, sit down. I don't know. I'm willing to give anything another try, but it wasn't an experience that any of us really loved.
I don't blame you. Like, I would not necessarily have gone back either. I'm looking up right now real quickly because I want to make sure that I'm not wrong about this. So viewing the menu.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't really know either. One thing that is good about it is, I mean, the outside of the building is cool with the forced perspective castle in the back. I mean, that's great. I'm trying to think of some positives, but
yeah, it's $72 for an adult.
Okay.
And that's for lunch.
Is it like one of those prefix things?
It's a prefix for lunch, and it's $72 for an adult, $43 for a child. You choose an appetizer, choose a dessert, or choose an entree, and then you get one dessert as well.
I feel like we had something turkey. It was like a turkey sandwich or something.
Yeah, that's so you used to go in and order at a kiosk, sat down, and they would bring it. They would bring it to you, but it wasn't. So it was like quick service adjacent.
Okay,
that is not the way it is anymore. It is.
All right.
I think after COVID, they never went back to that way. Dinner, when we see the dinner pricing, dinner's the same. So it's both $72. So, and they
what are your entree options?
Your entree options?
I really haven't. Now, what are they?
Short rib, beef bourguignon, charred eggplant, a dry aged pork chop, grilled filet, steak frite, pan roasted Arctic char, and a poulet rouge, which is a roasted chicken.
Okay.
Yeah. So
not something I'm clamoring for to have if I'm at a theme park. So that's.
I mean, I would eat it outside of a theme park. Yeah. I mean, their food is good. Like this food is generally rated well, but like, I'm with you. I don't think you're wrong at all. I don't think there's going to be many people who are going to say, Rob, you're wrong on that one.
Yeah, they will for the rest.
You think so?
I'm waiting for the Joffreys and and this popcorn bucket.
The popcorn bucket people are going to come after you. Yeah. My number two. I've said before. I said it recently on a hot takes episode. I'll say it again. My number 2 is Mickey shaped treats and snacks. I don't care if it's a Mickey bar. I don't care if it's a Mickey ice cream sandwich,
waffle,
Mickey waffles. They're overrated. Okay. Like, I get it. The Mickey waffle thing, the Mickey waffle love. I get it. Right. But the other one, like, you're paying $9 or $7, whatever it costs for a premium bar. It's literally the same thing that you could go get at Target or at from your local like ice cream truck for $3, $2.
Yeah.
So Mickey flavored treats. You know what the most overrated of the Mickey flavored?
Mickey flavored treats. That was awesome.
That's going to be
like, wait, did he? That was hilarious.
That's going to be a good TikTok.
I love that.
That'll make a good short and reel. No, but for real, the Mickey shaped treats, the one that is the most ridiculous thing. Well, actually, there's 2. One, candy apples. That's pretty high up there. And the other one that I think is like bonkers that people spend extra money for, Rice Krispie treats. It's literally a Rice Krispie treat, folks.
Yeah.
Like, and you're paying like $8 because it's got ears and it was dipped in red and black frosting. Whatever. I don't know. So I know people, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it because I've talked about it already, but I think Mickey shaped snacks and food items are overrated. You pay even Mickey shaped sushi. There's even Mickey shaped sushi rolls that are like,
really? I haven't seen that.
Like, okay, why am I paying more for that? So, yep, that's my thing.
Maybe it's also Mickey flavored. Yeah. I love that.
Well,
anyway,
I mean, depending on which part of the South you're in, you can probably eat some rodent.
I've had alligator when I was in New Orleans. That was good.
Alligator's not a rodent, though.
No, I know. I'm just something different.
Yeah.
Something wouldn't be on the McDonald's menu, or maybe it is.
Maybe.
Anyway, my number 1 is a ride that I enjoy. It is a classic ride that the line is absolutely insane for, and that is Peter Pan. Peter Pan's Flight. Great ride. It was revolutionary at the time because it hung from the ceiling. Yeah, it hung from the ceiling. It is, it's. I have no idea why the line is always like an hour and a half.
Why is that one an hour and a half and across the way you can get on to Small World in 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, I know.
Small World's a better ride.
There isn't a lot to say.
Ride. So
people's arguments could be, well, it's nostalgia and this and like, okay, sure. A lot but there's a ride that fulfills that nostalgia for me across Small World. Same kind of era, same kind of,
better artwork.
Kitschy. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, they've made upgrades to the queue. They've made some upgrades to the ride. I don't know. It's overrated. It's good.
Hard
When
to
that
argue.
line is that long, it's a no thank you. If the line's short, if we get lucky, we'll do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like if let's say I'm rope dropping and I've already gone to, I don't know. Let's say I rope drop 7 dwarves. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm off of 7 dwarves, and that initial, and I have early entry. This is if I have early entry. That initial mob that went to Peter Pan is now working their way through. I might go there then. I might go there late at night, like just before the fireworks, if it's cleared out a little bit, because that's usually a time.
Yeah, it's a good time.
The group of people who like Peter Pan are also the group of people who tend to want to make sure they're at the fireworks, right? It's kids and stuff like that.
Yep.
So you've seen one fireworks show, you've seen them all, kind of a thing. As far as happily ever after, once you've seen it, it's kind of cool to see it from different vantage points. So I don't have a problem going behind the castle and doing that then if the line's not long, but I don't disagree with you. This is on my honorable mention. It didn't make my list. So,
all right, let's hear your number one. What is your number one most overrated thing at Disney World?
So I think that this is not going to be as hot a take as some of my others, because I think other people agree that it's overrated, but we all contribute to its overratedness, and that is Oga's. Okay.
I thought of that too.
So Oga's is not a fun experience when you get right down to it. Right. So it's cool. The cast members do make it cool.
Yeah.
But
no offense to them
for somebody like me, I get anxious in those situations where you're sitting with people you don't know.
They're hurrying you up.
They're hurrying you, and you're sitting with people you don't know. Now, we got lucky. There were 8 of us. And so we took up an entire side of that bar. But if they had, if I was just me and my wife and they sit me down and all of a sudden I'm sitting with other people I don't know, it's partially the reason that I've never gone on a cruise, because a lot of cruises, we'll do that kind of a thing at dinner. And not all cruise lines. And then they've kind of backed off a little bit away from it. For years, it was why we didn't go to Beer Garden, because Beer Garden used to be family style seating. And it's not now you get your own table. That gives me anxiety. And so that part is bothersome. The whole idea that you have 45 minutes. Well, for me, I wanted to try multiple drinks. So now I'm binge drinking on my day in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, and they're pretty hard. Those drinks were.
Yeah, I mean they're
heavy for me.
They basically are and I like a good old fashioned, and I like a good whiskey drink or whatever, and they are definitely well balanced cocktails generally.
Yeah, I would agree.
And they're pre-batched, which is an issue for some, but it has to be because of how quickly they're. But my goodness, and they don't really have any good food options.
No, what do we get, a charcuterie board or something? What was it?
Well, it's not even that. It's crackers that were gluten free that were. Yeah, I don't even remember what we got. It was not good. I didn't think anyway. And this summer we're going to plan on going to Beacon Barrel. Now, word on the street is that Beacon Barrel is better than Oga's. I'm going to hold out judgment until I go. But these places that are you got 45 minutes, do your thing. Give me a Trader Sam's, right, where I can go in and chill. And then people are on the outside wanting to get in, and if they can't get in, they can't get in, and it is what it is. Give me that. And the other thing about Oga's that makes me angry is that originally they had planned on putting a full table service restaurant into Galaxy's Edge. And instead we get Oga's. And it's I got to make reservations so I can sit. So I can not even necessarily sit. I might have to stand for 45 minutes next to 1,000 of my sweaty best friends in this dark, damp, cantina that is so loud. I don't know. For me, I think Oga's is overrated, and I don't think I'm alone. I really don't think I'm alone. So
no, I'm with you on it. I'm not sure that they did it the right way. I think it could be. They wanted to create, and this goes back to what we talked about last week, where in Galaxy's Edge, they wanted this new, unique area. And I mean, a lot of it looks similar to the ones that you would see in the movies. But boy, would it have been a home run if it would have been, that bar from Mos Eisley's Cantina that listeners remember from the original Star Wars in 77. If you had some of that stuff and the option to sit down and you can maybe they have an animatronic of Greedo in the corner. He's the guy, him and Han Solo had the shootout. Like, I don't know. It's all, we'll see if they go in and they make any changes, but I agree with you. I had a good time. You and I enjoyed ourselves and we had fun trying things out, but like, it is overrated. I would agree with you. It's, I don't even know if it's something I would want to go back and do again.
I have no desire.
It's one of those things where I did it. Like, I did the droid building, it's on my shelf. I did it. Okay, whatever.
You have any honorable mentions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My first honorable mention for something very overrated, and they recently just fixed this, is the band Aerosmith. They're very overrated, and they were part of Rock and Roller Coaster. But Disney made the right decision and they got rid of that overrated band. So I had Aerosmith. One thing I think is overrated, and I got to be careful how I say this, is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It's not really overrated.
It's on my overrated list.
It's a good ride, but here's my take on this. I don't think Seven Dwarfs Mine Train should be one of the exclusive things and be excluded from Multipass. I think that needs to be part of Multipass, and the exclusive one should be Tiana. That's my hot take there.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it should be Tiana and Tron on opposite ends. Those are the two that should be by an individual Lightning Lane for. So
I mean, it's not going to matter once they open up Piston Peak. It's going to be that.
Yeah, it will be, and then it won't be anymore, or it won't be Mine Train anymore.
Yeah,
maybe.
I can't imagine.
Astro Orbiter's line is always really long. I think that's kind of ridiculous. My only last one is there's this place in the back. If you go to the UK Pavilion and you walk into the back, there's like a little area back there.
Oh,
and there's always so underrated. Many people there.
Vastly underrated.
It's so overrated. So
there's nobody there.
That was
nobody there.
That was my last one. What did you have for your honorable mention?
So I had the entire Contemporary Resort. The entire Contemporary Resort is overrated. Whether it's the A-frame, the Garden Wing is like a travesty that even exists at Disney as a deluxe.
Grungy pool. I remember you telling me that the pool was gross.
You've got California Grill with that stupid prefix stuff. You have Steakhouse 71 is not. I mean, I had a steak from there. It's not good.
I never thought of the noise. Talk about that because when you brought
lounge,
that up, I went, well, yeah. And if your room is on the inside of the A-frame with the monorail coming through and kids screaming at Chef Mickey's, I never thought of that.
I could do a whole top 5. Yeah, I could do a whole top 5 of just things at Contemporary that are overrated, and Chef Mickey's would top that list. And then one that I have that I'll still wait in line to get some, but it's overrated is Gideon's Cookies.
Okay, never had one, but
you shouldn't be waiting in line.
Their artwork is cool, but I would not wait for a cookie.
The cookies are great. Don't get me wrong. The cookies are very good, but people wait an hour in line for a cookie. That's crazy to me. So,
look, I'm not kidding when I say this, and you're going to think I'm just saying this for the show. The best cookie I've had is made by your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, she makes...
Or, to be fair, your son is kind of learning the trait from your mother-in-law, and your son does a great job too. So
my son and daughter bake probably more batches than you think. But yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Can I place an order? Can I, I'll bring some cash. Your son's in my class. I'll hand him a wad of cash and say, birthday cake cookies, please.
Maybe. We'll see. I might have some for it. We'll look.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we'll look around.
But I don't mind paying. I don't mind paying.
It's fine. So guys, this has been a fun one. I know we probably upset some people. It is what it is. The reality is that we all, can like things, but also recognize, it's probably a little overrated. There are plenty of things at Disney World that are overrated. That doesn't mean I don't like them. That doesn't mean that they're not good. It just means that maybe we put a little bit too much stock into them. Mm-hmm. So, but we're going to head off and we're going to go record our second show for the day for our patrons. So you can head over to patreon.com/DizListPod. Check us out over there. Make sure you're following us on social media, whether that's TikTok or Instagram. Head over to YouTube, give us a like and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. But it's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow is just a list away.
Tune in next time, and we'll see you real soon.